A rubber man punched a god so hard, reality filed a noise complaint. That's not a joke. That's just Tuesday for Monkey D. Luffy. This is a guy who started One Piece by stretching his face like bubblegum, and somehow ended up awakening a power the world government feared for 800 years. So how did we get from haha rubber arm to Joy Boy has returned? That's what we're breaking down today. Every single gear in order explained properly. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Luffy went from punching bandits to punching the laws of physics. Before we even get to gear anything, let's discuss the forbidden truth. What Luffy actually is, a rubber human. He ate the gum fruit, which, plot twist we found out way later, isn't even a rubber fruit. It's actually the Hito no Mi model Nika, the fruit of a literal sun god. Luffy spent like 19 years thinking he just had a stretchy arm devil fruit, when really he was sitting on god tier software the entire time and didn't know it. But before he unlocks any of that, baseline Luffy is already doing wild stuff. Stretching his limbs to punch from a mile away, inflating his stomach to block attacks, turning his arms into propellers. It's goofy, it's cartoonish, and it works because nobody takes rubber seriously. Which, honestly, is the whole theme of his power growth. People keep underestimating elastic. Gear second. Second gear introduced during the Enies lobby arc, when Luffy needed to go from funny, stretchy pirate to I will end you in the next 4 seconds. Here's how gear second works. Luffy pumps blood through his body at insane speed, basically supercharging his own circulatory system like a biological turbocharger. Steam starts coming off his skin because his blood is literally boiling. His speed and strength spike massively, and he starts moving fast enough to throw multiple punches that look like one punch, which is where we get his signature move, Gatling. Think of it like this. Normal Luffy is a car in first gear. Gear second is redlining the engine, except the engine is his own bloodstream and there's no pit stop. It's alone from his body with brutal interest. Overusing it exhausts him fast because he's basically sprinting his organs. And yes, it's called gear second because it's literally the second gear he unlocks. Naming logic so simple, even Zoro could follow it. Gear third. Third is Luffy doing the most rubber thing imaginable. He bites down on his thumb and inflates his bones like a pool floaty, pumping air into his skeleton to massively increase the size of a limb, usually his arm or fist. The result? Gigant pistol. A fist the size of a small building hitting with the force of, well, a fist the size of a small building. The catch is hilarious and brutal at the same time. When he reverts back to normal size, his body doesn't get the memo immediately. He temporarily shrinks down into Chibi Luffy, tiny body, tiny squeaky voice, somehow still trying to throw hands. If Luffy can spend years mastering his gears, you can spend 1 second hitting that subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. Fourth gear. Now we get to the gear that made the entire fandom lose their minds. Gear fourth, unlocked at Dressrosa. This is where Luffy combines second and third, pumping his muscles full of Busoshoku Haki, basically armour made of willpower, while also inflating them like gear third. The result is Bound Man, a hulked out, bouncy cartoon balloon version of Luffy, who hits like a wrecking ball and moves by literally bouncing off the ground. His signature attack here, King Kong Gun, is essentially him compressing his whole arm down like a spring, then launching a haki-coated punch the size of a skyscraper. He used it to one-shot Doflamingo so hard, the guy needed a moment to remember his own name. But here's the twist. Gear fourth isn't just one form. Bound Man, the bouncy boxer mode. Tankman, introduced against Charlotte Katakuri, more defensive, less bounce, more brick wall with abs. Snake Man, his arms move like coiled snakes, faster and sneakier, used to actually land hits on Katakuri's borderline precognitive future sight. Downside? Same as Gear second, just way worse. After using it, he's left in a Gear fourth hangover, barely able to move because his body basically maxed out its credit card on willpower, and now the bill is due. He cannot even use any haki for the next 10 minutes. Fifth gear, and now the gear that broke the internet and possibly the laws of cartoon physics. Gear fifth. This is the moment we found out the gum fruit was never a rubber fruit at all. It's the Hito no Mi, fruit of the sun god Nika, the legendary warrior of liberation. Luffy unlocks this form during his fight with Kaido by literally waking the fruit up, which the series calls awakening. Basically, a devil fruit user gaining the ability to affect the world around them, not just their own body. In Gear 5th, Luffy's hair turns white, his clothes shift. He can turn lightning into rubber. He can make the ground itself bouncy. His haki turns gold instead of black, and his fighting style goes from serious shonen protagonist to literal Looney Tunes character, dodging attacks like they're badly thrown pies. And that's the genius of it. Luffy's defining trait was always, rubber is funny and nobody takes it seriously. Gear 5th takes that joke and weaponizes it on a cosmic scale. He's not just stretchy anymore, he bends reality like it's made of rubber. Sound effects become real attacks. Kaido, a literal dragon who's basically unkillable, gets folded like a pretzel. The cost? Massive. Using this form burns through his life force at a terrifying rate. Its implied, repeated, prolonged use could straight up shorten his life. So yes, Luffy is now strong enough to fight gods, and the price is possibly his own lifespan. Classic shonen, ultimate power, ultimate price combo, except this time it's wrapped in a smiley Rubberman bow. Every single gear follows the same rule. Take something that sounds like a joke, stretchy rubber, and turn it into the scariest thing in the room. Luffy's entire power scaling is basically, what if the comic relief character was also the final boss? And honestly, that might be the most One Piece thing about One Piece. So that's every gear fully broken down, from boiling blood to bouncing off thunderclouds like they personally owe him money. If this helped, things finally click. Smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel more than Luffy's punches help his enemies. Drop a comment with which gear is your favourite, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay rubber.